magic makers. Mombierella here. So, okay, today's kind of crazy, and I've got to share this with you. So this is my video today. But I have been going crazy. I'm going to share the truth with you today. I'm straight up, absolutely for real. I have not been able to find my pattern. And I designed these forever ago. I've had the supplies ever since I shared the video of going to Hobby Lobby. So these are my Abu mouse ears that I wanted to have done by tomorrow. So I'm going to show you how to start a design from scratch tonight. But I'm going to put the video of the actual tutorial up hopefully tomorrow of everything, and I'll have them on for our movie night. We'll get to go see the new live action Aladdin. Okay, I'm so jealous because I know some people have actually already gotten to see it. I got my little Abu for inspiration up here, and then I looked at him and realized that he is in the wrong colors. So I have got my movie up, and I love this shot. If I can actually even show it, hold on, to you. I'm turning the brightness up. It's one of those moments where you pause the movie and it's just perfect, but I don't know if you can see it. Hold on. So, I'm going to share this with you guys. Sorry, I got to grab my supplies. I'm not walking off, but yeah. I'm going to show you what I've got to make these, which I've kind of shown you before. Sorry if it's clicking, because I'm tapping something. Anyway, I'm going to show you how to make a pattern from scratch and everything on this. I have the basic idea. I mean, I know what I'm doing, but okay, this is crazy. Sorry. Hashtag sorry, not sorry, kind of, but you know. I need to get this done, and I figured the best thing to do is to share it with you guys, because maybe this will help you too. Have you ever had a project and it just wasn't doing what you needed it to do? Because this is one of those moments right now. And so hold on, I'm grabbing my stuff here. So hopefully this is actually working and that matters too. So hold on. Aha! I think I'm live. If I wasn't already, which I probably was, but okay. So, haha! You haven't seen me from the beginning, but you probably haven't. So, hey Magic Makers, Mombierella here. Today is a crazy day because this is not a normal video. I'm having problems with my Abu mouse ears. My problem is I have lost all my patterns and I get to make them from scratch. So I'm going to share with you how to make your own DIY mouse ears, in this case Abu themed. This isn't them, but how to make them starting with the pattern and everything. My little Abu here, like I said a minute ago, is my inspiration, and then I realized as I'm holding him that he is the wrong colors. So we're looking at this awesome picture, one of those awesome pause moments on a Disney movie where Abu is wearing the right colors, more purpley. I don't know why he has more of a maroon there. So I'm setting this here for my inspiration. Sorry if you can't see it, which I'm pretty sure you can't. I got my awesome LuLaRoe. That was weird. Okay, but I had to have my Evil Queen because I'm doing my Evil Queen reading, and yeah, I just need inspiration. Today's just one of those days. I'm sorry, but I'm going to be absolutely real. So, here's my supplies, right? Of course, I've got my sketch, and this is what I do for all my ideas. I will take and I will just write out what I plan. I've got my headband, which is here, and okay. So this is sticky and kind of ugly looking because I ripped all the original fabric off of it, and now it is plain, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to redo it, which makes total sense. Okay, sorry. But I love these thick ones because they have so much stability as compared to the thinner ones. My ears are going to be pretty heavy. I get kind of carried away on them. it is what it is. I actually started making baseball cap ones too, and I made a set of Marie ones for my mom for Christmas one year. She wore them to the parks recently, and they loved it. Hey, little prince. It's really late for us right now. I don't normally do anything this late, except, you know, bedtime stuff. But, so, we're pretty much, the kids are ready for bed. But, we are, so I'm going to start these from scratch and say hi to the world because everybody's able to see us. Right? Okay, so there's my headband, and here's what I'm going to do is because Abu's vest is like this kind of pretty purpley color, I'm going to cover the headband with this because I don't want to cover, I was going to make a vest around the ears, and I thought that's just weird, the ears with a vest around them, because I've got another idea for that. Okay, so my headband's going to be covered in this purple in representation of his vest, and then I have, this is my outside color for my Abu ears themselves, but I'm also going to trim the outside with this awesome fur trim that I love. I did this with the Marie ones with white fur, and it's kind of a pain somewhat if you're not, sorry, there's a tack in here. If you're not really used to sewing, I prefer to sew, obviously. Okay, don't make fun of my sewing machine. I'm sorry. I know it's old. It's not the prettiest thing, and it's probably missing parts, but it's been with me for a very long time. So we have a relationship. And so this is fake fur trim. I got this one. It's the dark brown from Hobby Lobby. I don't know if y'all saw that one, but if you didn't, I will link the video probably over there somewhere. Anyway, later after this is done. And so this is 2 inch by 30 inches, and hopefully this will be actually long enough to go all the way around my ears, because basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to sew it, I'm going to have to sew it in such a way that the fur will be on the outside. I'll show you what. Like I said, I'm not going to make the whole ears tonight, but I am going to show you how to set up the pattern and get your supplies organized and everything. So this is foam, and basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this to make the ears stiffer inside, but this isn't the only thing I'm going to use. And I have extra foam in case one isn't enough in each ear. Sometimes it's not. But I prefer to try to stick with the color that's going to be neutral enough to blend in, if anything, which it should happen to show. And then I've got, this is not my prettiest piece because I like to recycle ones I've used for other projects. And you can see it's already got something that's been cut out of it, so yeah. But it's going to go inside, so you're not going to see it, hopefully, is the idea. And this is what's called, brain dead moment, interfacing. And this is an iron-on one, so you see the shiny part. I don't know if you can see it, it's shiny. But if I iron it, if I heat it, it will adhere to whatever I iron it to. So I will probably actually sew this in and then heat it up before I put my foam in, which is what I did with my last mouse ears I made. Wow, this is so unedited, sorry. And for his little hat, he has a little fez. I'm going to take this, which is a nice stiff fabric. Let's see if I can figure out exactly what this fabric is. It's not a fleece or I mean, it might be a felt. Sorry, I should know this, but I don't. But it's so stiff that I don't want to think of it as a felt, because felts are more like this to me, you know, the softer. But I think it is. I think it's actually a very stiff felt. So anyway, I only paid 99 cents for this one. It's a huge piece. These were each about 33 cents, so they were really not bad. And I could have gotten fabric that was uncut and just had them cut it for me. I just wanted this project to be easy because I wanted to share it with you guys. So, I'm getting my dust off my phone, sorry. Now I can't get it off my finger. So, since his fez is not totally red, but I do think this one, no, see, the colors are off on this hat too. Okay, I'll show you in a second. So anyway, the top is red on all of them, and then this part is actually purple in the movie. And then down here, actually it's got, well no, it's probably pretty close. Hold on, let me show you. Let me look again. So, hopefully this can be seen. So you've got the fez, and he's got the red top, gold trim, and purple on the bottom on this one, which is kind of what he's got there. It's just, it doesn't have the pattern. So, I'm going to use a little bit of my purple that I'm going to use for my headband. Hopefully I have enough, once it's on the headband, to put a little trim on the bottom of my fez. And then I lost it. And I have some gold ribbon somewhere that I'm going to use. Once I make the fez, I am going to cut the purple out and then like a scalloped pattern, which I didn't draw on my pattern, sorry. In fact, I can probably do that real quick. So I'm going to cut the purple out in a scalloped pattern, and I'm going to take the gold ribbon and I'm going to put it around the bottom. So anyway, so usually I just draw arrows because I'm a terrible artist, so don't judge me, okay? Really, seriously, tonight, of all nights, please be kind. Okay, and then, so, on my fez, hopefully this is visible, I'm going to have my red stiff felt up here, and I'm going to take the purple felt, the softer, and I'm going to put it down here in a little scallop kind of pattern, hopefully around the whole thing. And then down here, I'm going to just attach a simple piece of my gold ribbon. I've got other ribbons. Okay, I'm a notorious crafter. I plan more crafts than I probably actually do, and I craft more than I probably actually should. If you haven't seen it, you should. I will definitely be sharing the link somewhere on here or the video of my my princess pirate costumes that we came up with for our last cruise, because that was okay. They turned out gorgeous. I won't lie. They turned out absolutely gorgeous. For myself, I made a belle themed, and I am addicted to it. I wear it every pirate night on our Disney cruises. And for my little princess, I made Rapunzel pirate themed, and she has a little stuffed Pascal that she keeps on her shoulder like a parrot. It is so cute. In fact, actually, I will be sharing the surprise pirate night flash mob dance that they did. It was awesome. It was to the theme song from Pirates of the Caribbean, and they had this whole thing, the whole group of the teens club. Okay, if you've never done a Disney cruise, it's definitely, there's always something amazing. It's definitely worth doing because there's something fun. So I'm going to share that, and she was wearing her Rapunzel costume, her Rapunzel pirate costume for that. Okay, so to make our pattern, I'm going to use this stuff, which I bought for a machine of mine to do embroidery that broke. So now it's just whatever I want it to be. And somewhere I have scissors. Is it my scissors? These are my good scissors. Okay, so I have better scissors, so I can use this for this. I'm a freak about my sewing scissors. I don't share them with anyone, and they're only for fabrics. I'll scoot my sewing machine back. And did I miss anything before I do the pattern? Oh, wait, one more thing. Yes, okay. So to make the ears fluffy, you can use different things. I've seen people use fleece. I've seen them use batting, which is like a cotton fabric that just kind of can be rolled out. They use it for quilting. For me, I tend to just stick in cotton. I don't know if that's lazier or if it's just because I like them puffier. I'm not sure. But that's how I do it. Once I get the foam in, once I get it settled, I will stick the cotton in there and I will shift it around. Which, I don't do a no-sew, but I thought about doing it. So I might do no-sew ears for my next one, just to kind of see if it's a better way. But with the fur, this one kind of had to be a sewed pattern. Where did I put the pencil that I have? So, for this one, there will be sewing involved. The ears themselves will have to be sewn around the round part, and yet the bottom part will be more curved and kind of flat, which is an oxymoron, but it'll make sense in a minute. And they will be hot glued on the bottom, because to me that's just easier to glue them to the headband once I've glued them closed. And what I'm going to use to start this pattern is actually another set of ears, which aren't here. Hold on, 2 seconds. They're right here. Like I said, it's a tough day, but love you guys. This is going to be awesome. Okay, so these are my actual little Minnie Mouse ears that came from the parks one day, and they are tiny. And the headband is thin and tiny, and the ears do not stay put. So, hence, thick headbands. Awesome. And now for the piece de resistance. If you notice, okay, so you're worried your ears might not stay on. If you notice, these are official Disney mouse ears. What do you see here? These are not staying on. There's a little fringe there. These are no better or worse than what you're going to make yourself sometimes, honestly. These are a little stiffer on the edges because they actually used wire. I'm not going to use wire. Number one reason, you notice how these moved around on my head? Wire is heavier. And it doesn't have to have wire to be stiff enough. Just saying. Plus these have like, the wire is actually tucked under the headband, so it kind of hits you in the head. Not comfortable. Okay. So I'm just going to use these actually as a pattern. I have learned over the years, as I've become more of a seamstress, I guess, that you can lay out things that you love and make a new one out of them. So I'm going to follow the shape of these, despite the fact that they're sequins, and it's making it an ugly shape. Okay. So really the main thing here is just you want to know what size you're going for. And hold on, I'll pick this up in just a second. Also, you want to have your headband part here. Hold on. So, okay, simply tracing my ears. Forget the bumpiness for the sequins. Here's your basic pattern, right? This is too early. Here's your basic ear pattern. Circular with, like I said, a straight and rounded bottom. Basically, it's going to curve in. And your bottom, whenever you cut this, you're going to leave it unsewn after you've done the round parts. Again, it'll make sense in a little bit. Whenever I do the whole tutorial, it'll probably make much more sense. One thing that you want to bear in mind is your interior parts, your batting, should you do batting, your foam is going to be smaller. Sorry. Is going to be a smaller shape than your outer ear. For obvious reasons, because the outside part, like if you're wearing a jacket over a shirt, your shirt's going to be thinner than your jacket. Otherwise, you're going to have trouble getting your jacket on. Same thing with these ears. So, I'm going to cut this out. This is now my pattern. These are not my good scissors. There we go. Okay. So, I'm going to use this as my pattern. If you don't sew and don't know what I mean by that, it just means I'm going to take what I want to use and cut it out to this shape and basic size. Okay, so there is my pattern, and I can make more than one, but there's really no point to me right now except for the bigger one. So what I'm going to do to make the bigger pattern, this probably makes sense, is I'm going to take the one I just made, lay it down, and go around it. A little bit bigger, and when I say a little, I mean about 1/4 of an inch bigger than the pattern itself. Reason being is, number one, whenever you are sewing these, you're going to need what's called a seam allowance. A seam allowance is how deep you sew into it. For instance, with these, you can see in the seam allowance, the sequins are tucked in between the two pieces of fabric. And that's mostly, you can mostly see that so bad on these, simply because the fact that there is a big thick wire back here. And ironically, I just noticed something really funny. So like I said, these came from the park. If you will look closely, you will notice something. This ear and this ear are not the same size. In fact, I don't know if it's because of where, they're honestly not exactly the same shape. And, you know, if you know anything about Disney merchandise, which if you're watching this you probably do, then you know that to get something from a Disney park that is actually Disney merchandise is not cheap. especially mouse ears. Like, for instance, anyone remember the big debacle over the rose gold mouse ears? That was insane. Okay, I'm sorry if anybody's actually like saying anything. I swear I'm not ignoring you. I am in the process of trying to get this done where it's good enough for you to understand and to share my finished product with you, hopefully. Okay, so like I said, I took my original pattern, which is going to be my interior, like my foam. Again. And I traced it about 1/4 of an inch all the way around. Okay, I'm not a mathematician. I'm going to assume that's about 1/4 of an inch all the way around. I might actually be closer to 1/2 inch in some areas and 1/8 of an inch in others. But I went all the way around and I gave space to extend the size of the ears. So this is going to be the exterior fabric. Because you need a seam allowance, you're going to need it to be bigger. There's a mosquito in my house, or a net, or something. So, we'll ignore that. Okay. I will be honest, I am absolutely, I'm withholding any judgment as far as like the whole Aladdin movie. I know the big debacle, Will Smith, you know, the whole hashtag not my genie thing, but I'm trying to withhold all my personal thoughts on his part, you know. I mean, regardless of the fact that I have actually mentioned it and talked about it some in some of my vlogs, I am trying to withhold any form of judgment on how he portrays Genie differently. Because I haven't seen it, and he does have a way of being able to just kind of step in and try to make things his own. So I'm hoping that this will be as amazing as it seems like it will be. The movie tomorrow, I am so excited. I want to have these done. That's why I wanted to share the design with you. Now, okay, when cutting foam, it is not an easy task to cut smoothly, let me tell you. But okay, so I'm going to mark these patterns right here so I don't confuse the smaller one with the bigger one, because I have actually done that before. Toys, I see you. So hopefully this will work this time. Pattern, tried and true, has disappeared. So I've got my first set of foam, and I'm going to just go ahead and work on the first ear right now so you can see just the basic idea of what it is, okay? Now, like I said, the outside supplies-wise right now is my pins. I'm going to pin my pattern that I did myself. For my outside, I'm going to need 2 of these, but because the fabric go around your headband, the big round ears part is obviously your main part that you want to worry more about the seam on. Okay, so this is my pattern. Hey! And then my internet is just stinky right now, but like I said, this is not normal. I just want to work on this pattern, and I thought the best thing to do is to share it, because this is a project I've been wanting to do, and I am too. So first things first, on your headband you want to measure your length. See, obviously this is not long enough this way all the way around, so what I'm going to do is it'll make more sense in a minute. Since my headband is sticky because I pulled the actual stuff off, I can actually measure it by sticking it down, which is kind of cool. I don't know if you can see what I'm doing. So how much I want to wrap it around. So when I wrap it around, my big thing is I'm not going to sew the headband piece on. I am going to hot glue this, because sometimes it's working smarter, not harder. That's the important part. Okay. So I'm just sticking it around here to give me a really good basic idea of how big I need to make it. And I am just going to this one. My biggest thing with this is I want to have enough fabric to stick it around it, but not so much that it's going to be bulky. It's not normal for me. Normally I am very prepared, and I figured the best thing is just sometimes you're not going to be prepared. Like you can see, I'm just kind of trimming around here. I don't want to get too low just in case. If I get too low, then I'll mess up my little tips down here, which I'm going to tuck these up. When it comes down to it, I'm going to tuck these little tips up inside there and glue them down instead of cutting them off, because I don't want to have a flappy piece. And then I'm going to seal it with hot glue all the way around, so you can see it's like kind of a smoother end once it's done. It'll look a little bulky on the ends, but one thing is, like, honestly, but sometimes you do. Okay. I want to see real quick if I can maybe make this less laggy. I wonder if there's a way I can do this. It doesn't look like it's going to get. And the basic idea on the ears, it's going to be a little trickier once I put the fur on, because the fur is going to make it really bulky. But like I said, I'm going to be sewing it, and so since I'm sewing it, bulky might not. We won't be going to see the movie in the morning, which makes me sad, but we will be going to see it Bush Library, I think, and I was kind of hoping maybe I could actually share some of that with you guys. So I don't know why my connection is so poor. I do apologize. It should not be this bad. A good signal, but it hasn't dropped me yet. Oh. Now, this is not my finished product. You can see that this is jaggedy and stuff, but one thing you gotta bear in mind is that even though it's jaggedy, even if I don't smooth it out enough, then it's still going to be hidden once I glue it inside, because I'm going to I'm going to take this and I'm going to hot glue this. I don't guess I'm plugged in, or so I wouldn't have been able to touch that. For like small little things, but. So what I can do too is I can make one side literally perfect, my little jaggedy pieces. If you can see, one side a lot less wide, where it literally fits like just up to the other piece. And it would be really smooth. I've done that before, but having lost my pattern and having to start from scratch, it's kind of a bit of a pain. So I'm going to tuck this, I'm going to sleek this down and check the size again, and then once I've got this the right size and thickness on here, I'm going to go ahead and just hot glue this. And then once I've got my ears done, which I'll not me going crazy because I lost my pattern. The biggest thing for me is you want to make sure that you've got your headband fabric all smoothed out. Regardless of the fit or how you're going to tuck it, you just want it to be smooth. Really the main thing that made me so upset, I don't know what happened to my pattern, but the main thing about it that bugs me is that it has been used for a few things. Yes, I've made other mouse ears. I've made baseball cap mouse ears, and I've even got a Mickey towel that I have made with the ears. I made a stitch towel that I'm going to start putting on my store soon, hopefully more. And it was really frustrating to us. So I began to make things that she could fit. I began to make her costumes and hooded towels and whatever I thought my little prince and princess, now that my little prince is grown up and getting bigger, whatever I thought that they shouldn't have to give up yet. If Peter Pan doesn't have to grow up, neither do they, right? So, growing old might be mandatory, but growing up is there. And I'm only going to glue this inside part. Like I said, I pulled the fabric off, and I'm going to run a seam up the middle of this, and I'm going to stick this down. I've actually just noticed. Like I said, I've got my fleece, I've got my foam, I've got my headband, and I'm going to use this fleece for this. I've got my cool little fur trim and my stuff. I explained how I'm going to do my fez. And I'm just basically going to hot glue that together and then hot glue it to the headband. I'm not going to sew that because the fabric for this piece is so thick. Like I said, I've made towels before, and I've sewn other things that were thicker like this. And I believe this will probably break my needle, honestly. So either it needs to be hand sewn or it needs to be glued. This is going to be the trickiest part, so I'm going to break this down a little more later on the better earlier. And I just kept thinking, well, I'll have my let it go and keep. So can't wait to go see the Aladdin movie with you guys and check out that Jafar who did Vicky. Yes. Oh yes. And he was the one who was all like, "Oh, fog you," But yeah. Okay. So he's an awesome actor. Okay. Oh my gosh.